Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Faith Talk Friday family. Good to see you all on. Thankful for another Friday, for another amazing day. Beautiful day here in South Carolina already. I hope you all are having a great day so far. Great morning. Wherever you are tuning in from, um, I hope you are well this morning. So, listen, I am thankful for this space. And again, I appreciate so very much this investment of your time. It is encouraging to me, and it is actually a faith builder for me. I know this is called Faith Talk Friday, but it is definitely a builder of my faith just to see the value and the that you place on this and your support and your attendance and your feedback as well is so very important. So thankful for each of you. I will give some shout outs here as we normally do. I want to say good morning to Nakia McKenzie. Good morning to you. God bless you. Thanks for joining. Good to see you on. Chris Johnson, good morning to you, sir. Hope all is well with you. Good to see you on this morning. Cynthia Cooks, good morning to you. Good to see you on. Frida Carmack, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you on this morning. Katrina Starks, good morning to you. God bless you. Good to see you on. Roland Goodman, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining. Stephanie Martin Cox, good morning to you. Hope all is well with you. Queen Mellerson, good morning to you. God bless you. Hope all is well. Phaedra Carolina, good morning to you. Good to see you on. Um, my friend, Pastor Walter Robertson, good to see you on, sir. God bless you. Hope all is well with you. Joanne Brown, good morning to you. Good to see you on. Hope all is well with you. We miss you. Love you. Hope all is well with you. Also, give a quick shout out to those that may be watching the replay. Thankful for you. I hope all is well with you and your families as well. And we pray God's grace and favor on your lives as well. My friend Byron Morton, good to see you on, man. God bless you. Thank you for joining as well. So listen, we're going to jump into our discussion today. Good morning, Tracy Nelson. God bless you. Good to see you on. We're going to jump into our discussion today, and I want to talk about now what. My topic is in the form of a question today. Now what? That's what we're going to talk about. Now what? Now what? Now what? So, um, let me give you a quick scripture reference that we'll use to guide our discussion today. And my prayers that what God has given us to share will be a blessing to you and to those that are connected to you. Good morning, Ruby Thrower. Good to see you on. God bless you. Good morning again to my sister Lisa Young is on. God bless you. So scripture reference John chapter 20, verse 21, and it says, Then said Jesus to them again, Peace be unto you. And here's the part, as my Father hath sent me, even so send I you. As my Father has sent me, even so send I you. Topic again, now what? Now what? Now what? So Easter, we're in this season, Easter Resurrection Sunday has passed, and the celebration happened, and the moment, just the whole resurrection dynamic. The moment was amazing. The moment was powerful. But here's the question I want to challenge us all with today, which is a question that most people don't ask, and that question is now what? Now that the resurrection has happened, uh, now that we've celebrated, we've experienced the power of his resurrection. Now what? And that's an important question because it's one thing to experience the power of a moment, but it's a whole different thing to move forward with purpose after that moment. I'll say that again. It's one thing to experience a powerful moment with God, but it's a whole different thing to move forward with purpose after it. Because, and I'll take this moment to just say, every moment, every God moment has purpose. Every God moment has a purpose. God doesn't waste moments. He doesn't do anything just because or incidentally or coincidentally. Every moment, every God moment has a purpose. Good morning, Belinda Coleman. God bless you from Mississippi. Good to see you on. So our challenge is how we move forward with purpose. So we understand that purpose and we plug into that purpose and we begin to flow in that purpose. If we look at John chapter 20, Jesus appeared to the disciples. Just to give a little context here, he appeared to the disciples after the resurrection. And so if you think about it, this should have been a moment, if you can imagine the anxiety that likely gripped their hearts because of the resurrection. You know, I know Jesus said he was going to get up, but the truth of the matter is there were doubters even amongst his followers. All of them were not fully persuaded and convinced. And so this should have been a moment of relief. Good morning, Larry Dupree. Good to see you on, sir. This should have been a moment of relief. It should have been a moment of celebration, even a moment just to really sit in what happened. So, wow, we came off of Good Friday, we experienced the resurrection, and now, you know, we're sitting here with Jesus. Let's soak this moment in. So it should have been a time of celebration and relief. But here's the thing I want to share: Jesus doesn't just comfort them; he commissions them. I want you to get that. Don't miss it. Jesus doesn't just comfort them, he commissions them. Good morning, Sonia Levine. Good to see you on. He says, as the Father sent me, so I'm sending you. Just as I'm being sent, I'm also sending you. In other words, the moment is not the end, it's the beginning. The resurrection moment was not the end, it was the beginning. Let me take it further. Whatever God moment happens in your life, it's not the end, it's the beginning. And so many people love spiritual moments. We love spiritual moments, but we struggle with the spiritual, what I call the spiritual movement. We love the moment, but we struggle with the movement. Did y'all get that? We love the moment, we love the excitement, but we struggle with the movement. We love the breakthrough, we love the answered prayer, we love the emotional experience. But I want to challenge you, I want to challenge us all today. Although we love those things, and it is good to love those things, but growth does not happen in the moments alone. Spiritual growth does not happen in the moments alone. True growth, real growth happens in the moments after, in the movement after the moment. True growth happens in what you do after the moment, how you respond to it. If all you do is celebrate what God did, you might miss out what God is calling you to do next. In fact, you will likely miss out on what God is calling you to do next if you only celebrate what God did. I'm not saying don't celebrate, obviously. Celebrate, rejoice, give thanks. But then how do I respond to that? Good morning, Tressa Fuller. Good to see you on. Good morning to my wife, Raina's on as well. Good to see you. So let me just share something that's common that the folks around our church have heard regularly, and I'll just share with us all again here. There's a phrase that I coined some time ago, that with every blessing comes a reciprocal responsibility. Every blessing comes with a reciprocal responsibility. In other words, God just doesn't bless us for us or bless us just celebrate. He doesn't just give us these moments of blessings, these moments of experiences, these moments of manifestation just so we can feel good. But after we celebrate, and we should and must celebrate, then we have to roll up our sleeves and say, "Oh God, okay, God, now what? What am I to do with what you've just blessed me with? What am I to do with it? What am I to do with it? How do I steward this? How do I steward this?" Yes, Tressa, blessed to be a blessing. So God blesses me. In fact, in many cases, the blessings of God don't just come to us, but God's divine purpose and a kingdom concept is that his blessings don't just come to us, but they flow through us. They're never intended to stop at us. So we have to always ask ourselves, what next? Okay, God, you did this. You opened this door. You made a way here. You parted the Red Sea in my life. You brought me over, and you brought me through. So now what? You blessed me with this, God. For what reason? And so we can't just limit our responses to the moment with celebration. We have to follow through. And so I thought about the mountaintop experiences, the mountaintop, and I'll just say the mountaintop and the mission. Mountaintop moments are powerful, but they are not permanent. I'll say that again. Mountaintop moments are powerful, but they're not permanent. Jesus took his disciples up to the mountaintop, but listen, he always brought them back down. He took them to the mountaintop, but he always brought them back down. Why? Because transformation, true transformation, I want y'all to get this, it happens in the valley of daily living. True transformation. I want to speak to somebody's spirit this morning. True transformation happens in the valley of daily experiences. The mountaintop moments are powerful and they serve a purpose. In fact, they give us perspective. They give us a powerful and much needed perspective. But the valley gives you the opportunity. The mountaintop gives you the perspective. The valley gives you the opportunity. What do you mean by opportunity? The opportunity to walk out what you have received in the moment, the opportunity to steward well or to manage well what you received in the moment. Transformation happens in the valley of daily living. And so we can't just live our lives for moments and just jump from moment to moment with no growth in between. Every moment is a preparation for a valley to be victorious in the valley. If you're going to have victory in the valley, you have to take and steward well the moments that you received on the mountaintop. And so here's our challenge. One of our challenges, some people are waiting on another moment when God is waiting on your movement. Could it be that you're waiting on another moment and God is waiting on your movement? The last moment that we testified about, that we were so emotional about, that we were just overwhelmed with joy, but we did nothing after it. You know, that time we prayed for healing and God healed us, and we just let it fizzle. We let that moment, we let the power of that moment fade away. Every powerful moment should propel us and push us further into orbit, further into our spiritual walk, our spiritual effectiveness. Every moment demands a response. Every divine moment, every time God does something good for you, don't just celebrate, but after your celebration, then it's time to move forward and to use what God did to help you become victorious in your next. Use what God did to plant seeds or to sow seeds into somebody else's life. Good morning, Quan Brown. Good to see you on. Use what God did to help you grow and to help you become stronger, to help you overcome something that almost devastated you. Use what God did to help you and empower you to share your testimony with someone else so that someone else can see and experience the power of God. What God does for you is never just for you. It is always for more than you. And so listen, I've learned and I continue to learn, we don't just need another emotional high. We don't need another emotional high. We don't need another sign or not another experience, a monumental experience. We need to respond to what God has already shown you, what God has already done for you. We sometimes we spend too much time looking for the next big sensational thing, and we haven't responded appropriately to the last one. Why do I say that? Because revelation comes with responsibility. What I mean by revelation, what God shows, what he reveals, what he does. When God shows up, when he moves in your life, there's a responsibility. If God blessed you to start your business and you're thankful for it, you are responsible. You have another level of responsibility. If God blessed you with a family, if he's blessed you with a new job, if God has blessed you with whatever, if he's blessed you with even increased spiritual responsibility, kingdom responsibility. Guess what? It comes with responsibility. To whom much is given, much is required. So I'm not just to receive, I'm not just to be given, but with whatever I'm given, little or much, I'm required to do something. I have a responsibility. And so if you ignore the responsibility, and I pray that no one on this call does that, but if you ignore the responsibility, what happens is you limit the impact of the revelation. If you ignore the responsibility, you limit the impact of the moment. You limit the impact of the power of that moment. That power of that moment is never intended to die out or to lose energy or to lose momentum. We should build. When we respond appropriately to moments, when we ask ourselves, what's next? When we do that, it helps us build on the moments. So those moments just don't become isolated situations that come and go, that just fade and go. You know, we're hyped up one moment and we're in the valley the next. You know, so it doesn't allow us or it certainly doesn't encourage us to vacillate, you know, between celebration and depression. But when we handle those moments and when we steward those moments appropriately, the celebration, we can build on it and say, is taking me from faith to faith, from glory to glory. And so we build on it. Don't miss the impact of that moment by not responding responsibly. All right, I hope you get that. So listen, I want to challenge you with a couple things. Just identify maybe it's something you can put on your calendar or on your list for this weekend, and you can put this out this weekend. So identify the last clear thing, the last clear thing that God did. Think about it for a moment, and maybe you can take some time this weekend to ponder this. But think about the last clear thing that God did or that God showed you. The last clear thing, say, God moved in this way. God showed me this. He revealed this. Think about the last clear thing that he did, and then ask yourself, what's the next step connected to this moment? What is the next step connected to this moment? Good morning, Donna Ross. Good to see you on. Thanks for joining. What's the next step? So think about the last clear thing that God did or showed you, and then ask, what's the next step? And when you ask that question, what's the next step that's connected to this moment? Take take the step. Take action. No matter how small. Uh do something. Make the move. Don't just sit in the celebration because if I don't respond appropriately to what God has done, that celebration, the intensity of that celebration will fade. And as you look at this and you process this, don't overcomplicate it. It's not complicated. Don't overcomplicate it because faithfulness, listen to this, faithfulness in the next step, it actually unlocks what comes after it. When I'm faithful to the next step, faithfulness in the next step unlocks what comes next. And so if I want to experience God's next, not my next, but God's next for me, that will come as a result of my faithfulness to the moment, faithfulness to what God is doing right now, or what he has just done. And so it's important. What's next? That question, the resonating question has to be, we have to ask ourselves, what's next? After the celebration, after I rejoice, after I give God thanks, after I experience the moments of joy and celebration. Now what? What's next? After he opened the door, now what? After my healing, now what? After my breakthrough, now what? That has to be the questions that we ask. Okay, let me get into some takeaways. Some takeaways here. Um, So I'm gonna give you three takeaways. Number one, the spiritual moments are meant to lead to spiritual movement. The moment without the movement will kill the power or the impact of the moment. The way you kill the impact of a moment is to not allow that moment to cause you to move. I hope that makes sense. Spiritual moments are meant to lead to spiritual movement. I hope you get this. Don't just stop at celebration, because if God and when God allows these moments, and God gives us all spiritual moments, those moments that he shows us things, those moments that he answers prayer, those moments that he gives us a breakthrough, those moments that he opens doors, all of those things, they're meant to lead to spiritual movements. Some of you have experienced moments in your families where God has shown up, maybe in the life of a child that you were praying for, or in a spouse or a family member that you were praying for their spiritual health or for their salvation or for them to give their lives to the Lord and turn their lives around. And God showed up, and there was a moment. And what did you do with that moment? That's my question. What did you do with that? That moment demands a response. There is a responsibility that comes with it. So spiritual moments are meant to lead to spiritual movement. Number two, revelation requires response. Again, to reiterate, it requires a response. When God moves, when he shows up, when he reveals, it requires a response. We must do something. There were scriptures, even I just even remember, there are several scriptures in the Old Testament how they would build altars and they would offer uh, sacrifices or offerings unto the Lord. When God delivered them and God made a way, they built altars to honor God. I think Noah built an altar, after the flood waters receded. Times when God delivered uh, others and showed up, they would do something. When God blesses you with a moment, there should always be a response. One of the Psalms says, "What shall I render unto the Lord for all of his benefits towards me?" In other words, he has blessed me so much that I dare not do nothing. I dare not respond to what God did. What shall I render unto the Lord, for all his benefits toward me? It demands a response. Even when David repented to the Lord in Psalm 51, when he repented to the Lord and he said, the infamous created me a clean heart and renew the right spirit within me. David went down in that same discourse, that conversation. He said, "Then will I teach transgressors your ways, and sinners will be converted unto you." So, God, I'm not just asking you to show up and give me a moment. I'm not asking you to just create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit and uphold me with your free spirit. I'm not just asking you for those things, but God, I am going to respond. And that's the message I'm trying to, I'm not sure if I'm adequately doing it or not, but I'm trying to convey to us today. Revelation, those moments require a response. And then finally, number three, your next step matters more than your last experience. That's a powerful point that I hope you get. Your next step matters more than your last experience. That last experience is powerful. It is necessary. It is transformational, but it is not the end. That last experience is a part of the process. So my next step matters. If I don't make the next step, then my last experience could be in vain. What is next? So after the great experience, after the experience, I remember in the book of Acts, chapter 2, after the 3,000 people were saved and filled with the Spirit of God, and the Bible says that the church, that they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and breaking of bread and in prayers, and the Lord added daily unto the church those that should be saved. They continued. So it wasn't just taking the experience and celebrating the experience, but they continued. And the power is in our continuance. The power is in our next step. So I say again to everybody that's listening to me, your next step matters more than your last experience. And so, yes, it is so important that we keep this in mind, to keep this to our forefront. Yes, Stephanie, keep trusting the process and keep going. Absolutely. So listen, we're gonna let me just wrap up with a couple of things here. Just a couple of words of encouragement to all of us. Um, the first thing I'll say is don't just celebrate what God has done. Step into what He's doing. It's not always God is not a past tense God. He's a present help. He's a present God. He's the I am, not the I was. Although although we have a past with God, He is not a God of the past, just of the past. So step into what He is doing. I don't want us to get to a point that our strongest relationship with God is based on what was. Anytime your focus is more on what was than what is or what is to be, then that is a sign that you're not growing. That is a threat to your growth if your focus is more in the rearview mirror than it is in the windshield. So don't just celebrate what He's done. Do celebrate it, but don't just celebrate what He's done. Step into what He's doing. Don't just remember the moment, respond to the mission. The moment demands the question, what's next? Don't just remember the moment, respond to the mission. That is so critical, so important to us all. The same power that moved in your life is now calling you forward. Y'all get that? The same God that moved in your life is now calling you forward. He's calling you forward. He's calling you forward. So listen, God bless you all. We're going to stop there for today. We love you all. I love you all with the love of God. I appreciate, again, so very much your prayers, your support. I'm praying for you and your families, and for all of those who are connected to you. Take the next step. Take the next step. Reflect on what God has done. Reflect on what God has clearly done in your life and what He's clearly shown you, and then take the next step that's connected to that moment. Take that next step. Now what? Maybe that next step is a deeper relationship with you and God. Maybe that next step is you sharing that testimony with someone. Maybe that next step is you increasing your prayer life. Maybe that next step is you reaching out and asking and repairing a broken relationship. Maybe that next step is you forgiving someone that wronged you, or for you to ask forgiveness of someone that you wronged. So yeah, so just take that next step. Take that next step, move forward, and don't stay stuck. So listen, God bless you. Love you all again. Y'all have an amazing Friday, an amazing weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next time. God bless you. Until next time.